Hi, welcome back to the Grandstand, talking sports right now. Let's talk Georgia football. News came out recently of yet another quarterback, JT Daniels, transferring from Southern Cal. Now, keep in mind, when he came out of high school, he was rated only behind Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. So it's a pretty significant transfer. No guarantee he'll be granted eligibility this year, but if he is, Georgia has a whole bunch of quarterbacks. So, Avery, let's start with you. Is it possible to have too many quarterbacks on a college team to create some sort of harmony within the team?
I think the answer is yes, and I think the recent history that Georgia has already had kind of answers that question for you. When you had Jake Fromm in the mix, you also had Justin Fields, and then you had the other quarterback that was in that situation as well. So when you look at what Georgia's dealing with right now, you've got Jamie Newman, who's transferred in, who was already kind of projected to be that starter, and I think he would be ahead of the game in a normal circumstance of being within the offense and having spring practice and that kind of thing. JT Daniels now adds another question to that mix, and you've got, two quarterbacks who kind of are already waiting in the wings, and you've got Brock Vandagriff, who's about to come in, who's frankly one of the best quarterback prospects in the nation. So I think Kirby Smart, you love the spirit of competition, but I think he's going to have a real issue on his hands with one of his, underclassmen QBs potentially seeing what is ahead of them and deciding to transfer out and leave. And I think you're looking at another situation like really like Georgia quarterbacks really just had.
All right, Marv, what do you think?
No, I don't think there is too many you can have. If they're on your team, they can't play for another team. So if you have them for at least a year, that's the best way to think. And I'm sure that's the way Kirby's thinking. But of all the names that Avery just mentioned, he didn't mention Beck, who was out of Jacksonville, who's highly ranked, and also DeJuan Mathis, who's already there and ready to play too. So those are two other guys who coming into the mix, highly recruited and ready to play. Now, when it comes down to the kickoff, you can only play one quarterback, if I can remember correctly. But so definitely is going to have some issues there. But I think it's spirits competition. I think these guys know it pretty much now. Everywhere you go, if you want to contend for a national championship, you're going to have to compete. So, I know Georgia fans are excited anyway. They have a fantasy football team.
All right, still touching on quarterbacks. Matt Ryan with the Falcons. Is he still at the level that he can take this team to great heights? Is he still an elite quarterback, Mark?
I think he has a resurgence this year. We talked about that on the last Grandstand about the Falcons, and I think – Avery said that, the Falcons offense is very potent. They have a lot of great skill players coming back with, of course, Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley, and now they're adding Todd Gurley to the mix. So I think that he's going to have a resurgence. I think he's going to have a little more excitement out there. But, obviously the thing that is his Achilles heel is his defense right now. So we'll see how they can do. But I think that he's definitely prone to have another MVP-like season.
I got to agree with Marv on this one. I think Matt Ryan is poised to have another great year. That offense is, if anything, gotten a few more weapons than it had last year. And then on top of that, I think the question has really always been the defense. I never thought Matt Ryan was the problem, and I think he's still as good as he's been even since he led them to that Super Bowl appearance. And I don't think they're going to have any fall off on the offensive end. If anything, I think they get better. And I think the question is still whether that young defense that they have is going to be able to keep up with some of these other elite offenses, especially in our division.
All right, always fun talking sports with Marv and Avery. Hope you enjoy it. We look forward to much more down the road.